Hare Krishna. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, text number 17. The verse is Shinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantastoya Bhadrani Vidunoti Suratsatam. Shinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantastoya Bhadrani Vidunoti Suratsatam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Purport ki Jai. Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma Super Soul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Purport: Messages of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, are non-different from Him. Whenever, therefore, offenseless hearing and glorification of God are undertaken, it is to be understood that Lord Krishna is present there in the form of transcendental sound, which is as powerful as the Lord personally. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Siksastaka declares clearly that the holy name of the Lord has all potencies of the Lord and that He has endowed His innumerable names with the same potency. There is no rigid fixture of time, and anyone can chant the holy name with attention and reverence at his convenience. The Lord is so kind to us that He can be present before us personally in the form of transcendental sound, but unfortunately we have no taste for hearing and glorifying the Lord's name and activities. We have already discussed developing a taste for hearing and chanting the holy sound. It is done through the medium of service to the pure devotees of the Lord. The Lord is reciprocally respondent to His devotees. When He sees that a devotee is completely sincere in getting admittance to the transcendental service of the Lord and has thus become eager to hear about Him, the Lord acts from within the devotee in such a way that the devotee may easily go back to Him. The Lord is more anxious to take us back into His kingdom than we can desire. Most of us do not desire at all to go back to Godhead. Only a very few men want to go back to Godhead. But anyone who desires to go back to Godhead, Sri Krishna helps in all respects. One cannot enter into the kingdom of God unless one is perfectly cleared of all sins. The material sins are products of our desires to lord it over material nature. It is very difficult to get rid of such desires. Women and wealth are very difficult problems for the devotee making progress on the path back to Godhead. Many stalwarts in the devotional line fell victim to these allurements and thus retreated from the path of liberation. But when one is helped by the Lord Himself, the whole process becomes as easy as anything by the divine grace of the Lord. To become restless in the contact of women and wealth is not an astonishment, because every living being is associated with such things from remote time, practically immemorial, and it takes time to recover from this foreign nature. But if one is engaged in hearing the glories of the Lord, gradually he realizes his real position. By the grace of God, such a devotee gets sufficient strength to defend himself from the state of disturbances, and gradually all disturbing elements are eliminated from his mind. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sahagana Raguna Khanditam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanditamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Shrute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam class. Srila Prabhupada translates the word abhadrani as desire to enjoy matter. Abhadrani generally means inauspicious things, dirty things within the heart, things that are undesirable, inauspicious things. And Srila Prabhupada is translating the word abhadrani as desire to enjoy matter. That means material desire or wanting to enjoy independent of God is an abhadra, is inauspiciousness, and it has to be cleansed off from the heart. And the solution, how one can do that, is given in this particular verse. So material desires are our worst enemy. We are in this material world suffering because we have so many material desires. Once there was a farmer. He was very sincere, very dedicated to his service. He was providing for his family. He had a small hut, a cow and a bull, and he would every day do his duties very, very sincerely with full commitment. Once a demigod became very pleased with his commitment, so he appeared in front of him and he said, "Ask me for any wish. I will fulfill one wish of yours." The farmer, although he was satisfied, he thought, if I had a lot of wealth, I would be very happy. My life would be just perfect. So he said to the celestial being, the demigod, that if you want to fulfill my desire, please grant me the desire or grant me the benediction that whatever I touch turns into gold. This benediction he asked from the celestial being. The celestial being said, "Are you sure? Once I give my benediction, it cannot be reversed. Are you sure you want this benediction?" So farmer reflected and firmly said that, "Yes, please give me the benediction that whatever I touch turns into gold." The demigod said, "Tathastu," and he left. Now this farmer, wanting to see what the demigod has said is correct or not, he touched some stones and those stones turned into gold. He became so joyful. He touched the wheel of his bullock cart, that turned into gold. So he knew that now everything he will touch will turn into gold. So he became very joyful and started touching so many things, and everything was turning into gold and was becoming more and more joyful. But after some time he became hungry. So when he sat down to eat his food, as soon as he touched the fruit became gold. And he started realizing, oh my God, what did I desire? Now anything I touch is going to become gold. He touched his daughter out of affection, and the daughter turned into a statue of gold. And that's when the farmer started crying and he was regretting his decision. Why did I even ask this? Because the demigod, the celestial being, had said, once I give you the benediction, it cannot be reversed. So there was no way out. When farmer's wife saw that anything he touches turns into gold, she ran away. She ran away in the fear that if he touches me, I will also become a statue of gold. So this is the nature of material desire. We may desire something thinking that this is going to give me a lot of happiness, but ultimately we realize that what we actually desired becomes the cause of our suffering, becomes the source of our suffering. Yehi samparshajab hoga dukkha yonaya evate adi antavanta konteya nateshu ramate buddha. Lord Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, the objects of senses, when we try to enjoy the objects of senses, they become the source of miseries. As soon as we try to enjoy matter, dukkha yonaya is born. Dukkha is born. Material enjoyment is like a womb from which dukkha is born. So material enjoyment, material desires, desire to enjoy independent of God is our true disease, is our true enemy. And because of this, we have been suffering in this world, life after life after life. In every life, we are trying to enjoy our material senses. And what do we get? Just like the farmer, we end up in miserable condition. Lord Narasimhadev, after killing Hiranyakashipu, asked Prahlad to ask for any benediction that he would like. Prahlad Maharaj said, no, I don't want any benediction. I am not here to do business. I love you. Narasimhadev said, I know, but I still want you to ask me some benediction. I will fulfill any desire of yours. Please ask. You know what did Prahlad Maharaj ask? He said, Yadi dasyasi me kaman varamstam varadarshabha kamanam hridi asamroham bhavatastu vrine varam. O Lord, best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desires. Prahlad Maharaj is an exalted devotee. He is one of the Mahajans. And what is he asking? He said, if you, my dear Lord, want to give me a benediction, then give me the benediction that there be no material desire in the core of my heart. Why is Prahlad Maharaj asking? Because he realizes that material desires is the root cause of our suffering. Srila Prabhupada says ignorance is the root cause of our suffering. And because of this ignorance, we desire something which is undesirable, trying to enjoy independent of God. So this we should not do. If we were to become free of material desire, we'll be so happy. There'll be no more miseries. Material desires is what keeps us busy in this world. Material desires keeps us busy, at the same time it keeps us miserable. But we still unknowingly chase after fulfilling the material desires. These material desires are so strong that we cannot win the game. We cannot win the game, neither can we quit the game. That is our situation. We cannot win the game and we cannot quit the game. We just have to continue. Even after coming to Krishna consciousness, devotees experience that even after practicing for so many years, devotees have experienced that there are so many material desires, there are so many abhadras, there are so many anarthas. So it takes time. This is not something that is going to happen over time, overnight. It is going to take time. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. And what do we say? More dhanam, more janam, more. There is no end. We just want more and more material desires to be fulfilled. Srila Prabhupada writes in his purport, one cannot enter into the kingdom of God unless one is perfectly cleared of all sins. The material sins are products of our desires to lord it over material nature. it is very difficult to get rid of such desires. Women and wealth are very difficult problems for devotee making progress on the path back to Godhead. So here, because it is addressed to males, it is said that women and wealth are very difficult. But wherever women is mentioned, females should replace that with men. So both women and men are problems for devotee making progress in their spiritual life on the path back to Godhead. So what is the solution? This verse that we are discussing gives us a solution. In this verse, Krishna gives us a clue how a devotee can cleanse his heart. First of all, we have to understand that on our own strength, we cannot cleanse our heart. It is not possible. We cannot do it. But the Supreme Lord, who is seated within our heart as Paramatma, as Super Soul, He can do it. But Super Soul is seated within the heart of everyone, of every living entity. So why don't He just clean the heart of every living entity and let them go back home, back to Godhead? No. There is also a condition. If you look at the translation, Super Soul cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed an urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. So unless a devotee has developed an urge to hear about the Supreme Lord, unless a devotee has come to the stage where he is relishing Harikatha, where he is relishing chanting of the holy names, and he has become anxious and has a strong urge to hear the messages, the glories of the Supreme Lord, only to such a devotee, Lord Krishna cleanses his heart so that he can come back to Him. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, Krishna is more anxious to bring us back to Him than we are anxious to go. So we have to develop this urge. And this is the reason why Srila Prabhupada wanted to give Srimad Bhagavatam to everyone. He wanted everyone to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. If you see the life of Srila Prabhupada, Srimad Bhagavatam was his greatest project, was his biggest project. Even before he arrived in America, he brought with himself 3 volumes of first canto. So right from day one, he was translating Srimad Bhagavatam until the final day when he was just about to leave his body. You would have seen that famous, very popular video where Srila Prabhupada is on the bed, and even in that precarious condition, and he's just about to leave his body, he's translating and giving Bhaktivedanta Purports to the 10th canto chapter. So Srimad Bhagavatam was Srila Prabhupada's greatest project, and he really worked hard to translate this Bhagavatam so that everybody can hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. Krishna Tulya Bhagavata. Every word, the entire Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada also writes that he opened so many centers where devotees can come and hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because he wants everyone to go back home, back to Godhead, become cleansed of all these material inebrities within our heart, all these inauspicious things, all these inauspicious desires of enjoying independent of Krishna that we have been harboring in our heart from life after life after life since time immemorial. Srila Prabhupada wants us to become cleansed of all those tendencies and go back home, back to Godhead in our eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord. So we should very seriously study Srimad Bhagavatam, take the message of Srimad Bhagavatam very seriously, and we should ourselves read it and hear, and also give opportunities to others to read and come and become purified. Srila Prabhupada quoted these words when he arrived at Boston Harbor in 1965. In his poetry or bhajan, Markine Bhagavad Dharma, Srila Prabhupada has quoted this particular verse, Srinvatam Swagata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. Please help me, please allow me to deliver this message of Bhagavatam in a way they will be able to understand and get a taste for hearing Bhagavatam. Then their life will be glorious. So we have to hear Bhagavatam, and we have to give this opportunity to everyone else to hear Bhagavatam. And we don't have to change anything. Sthane sthitam shrutigatam tanuvan manobirye prayasho jito jito pisite stilokyam. We don't have to change, we don't have to move around. We just have to simply stay where we are and peacefully chant the holy name and hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Holy name is also not different from Krishna. If we can chant the holy name very sincerely, very attentively, then the holy name will cleanse our heart from all this unwanted things. Cheto darpanam arjanam bhavamahada vagnirvapanam. So we must hear, and we must develop this urge to hear. Hearing by itself is very purifying, but if one can hear and start applying what one is hearing, then one is able to take full advantage of the messages of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should definitely hear every day, but we should also make a conscious effort to apply what we are hearing in our practical life. This way we will be able to make steady advancement in our spiritual life and one day go back home, back to Godhead. So those were some of the points I wanted to share with all of you. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.